had a few little jobs today. Not gonna go make videos on every little thing I do, but just the important ones. So the next one is a Nissan Rogue. I think it's a 2018, I believe. We're gonna do a door lock actuator on the driver's side front. That should be fun. They're not too bad. A little bit of a disassembly. You pull the window regulator apart, and part of the door latch and stuff. Maybe the outside handle. But I'll return and give you a blow-by-blow on that one. See ya. Okay, OG back here. We're at the customer's house. Okay, so 2014 Nissan Rogue door lock actuator issue. Unlocking's fine, locking not fine, and now we're carrying the back one as well for the back door. So I'm gonna start the recording. I'm gonna start pulling the door panel, and we'll go from there. The actuator is usually on some of these the latch as well. There's a little. This is what it looks like. So it's got the latch assembly that goes here at the end of the door. So this one sits like this inside, just like that, or actually like that. But anyway, it's got a couple cables here and a lever or two, and then it's got the motor incorporated in it, which makes the door lock open and shut. I mean, lock and unlock. So that's the problem with it. All right, be right back. Okay, here we go. These two bolts here is what hold it together. When you pull on the door to shut and close it, if those weren't there, you'd be pulling your handles off quite often. Basically, that's it. The rest of it just pops loose. Yeah, this one just pops straight off. Little door pry tool right here. Once you get it started, typically you can pop the rest loose by just pulling on the panel. There's one. There's two. Just give it kind of a quick pop. Jiggle. Now this one's got two cables attached to the door right here, and then we got a bolt connector down here at the bottom we got to disconnect, and that's it for the door panel. Good spot. Camera's in the grass today. Let's try over here. I just don't want to obscure the camera view, so that's a good spot here without falling over. Alright, there we go. Yeah, let's try that. Hopefully the wind don't blow it off. Door panel is loose. Set that aside. Now we've got this window regulator portion. We've got to pull this. There's a couple caps here that'll give us access to bolts or screws, so we want to pop those off. Usually they're just little stickers. They might be rubber. Not sure if we're going to need those loose or not, but we'll take them off anyway. Take them right there. I will take the window regulator frame off. Loose. Now this one looks like part of the guides for the window regulator are attached. Only this style, they're a bit of a pain in the butt, but this one looks like they did make it a little easier, which is very surprising for a Nissan, to be honest. They're usually more difficult to work on. So now our window's loose, window regulator portion of it. Right. Missing any bolts? I don't see any. Okay. Make sure our window's not going to fall down here. Alright. I don't think I missed anything here. Got a little tap here. Alright, now. So on this one, we're going to want to take the bolts loose from the window. And it looks like I'm going to have to drop that window just a little bit. So, unfortunately, we've got to hook this back up. Operate our windows. You just never know what you're going to have to do to get these things in the right spot. Hopefully, I don't have to go too far, I don't think. We just need it to go down enough to access the window bolt. Seems to be sticking. Go ahead and going to use a ratchet on these. On these two nuts or bolts here. These are the two that actually hold the glass to the regulator. Need to grab some tape. So we can take this glass up when we're loose. A lot of times I'll just pull the glass completely out of the door just so it's not in the way. So less chance of getting broke, falling down and breaking. We'll see how this one works out. I'm probably going to pull it out. Sorry about that. The phone overheated, so now I got to move it to the shade. Anyway, I got to pull the glass out. I was going to show you the part that we're replacing in there. Right there in there. We've got to pull a few cables loose, which I got the top one there where that yellow clip is. And then there's these two cables here that run to the inside lever and the lock. And then the others for the outside. So I'm going to get those pulled out, but this time I'm going to put the camera inside the car, which is a little cooler. Okay. All right, there we go. So I got to move to the side so it's inside the car, so it'll be a little cooler. All right. Now, basically, there's 3 Torx bolts on the exterior of the latch. So we need to remove those, and then this thing will basically fall out in my hands. There'll be one more cable I've got to release, but we'll do that once we got this out. You know, these are pretty loose. Usually they're in with Loctite and they're pretty dang tight, but we got lucky on this one here. They do have Loctite on them, but they weren't tight at all. Typically, you gotta. I've broken bits on these things before. There's the third bolt. As you can see, they got the blue Loctite on them. Really not a bad job. I'd rather do these all day than some other jobs, you know. Alright. Now this cable, let's see, did it come with a new one? It did not. Oh, it did, okay. So, this one attaches to the outer latch, and there's a rubber plug on the back end. Typically there's 2 bolts. This one may only have one, and then it just slides in, and it looks like it's the same size as the actuator bolt. Yep. Okay. It's kind of recessed in there, so grab you a magnet. Once it's completely loose, seems to be dragging ass in there. Okay. Oh, I see, it's attached to the. Got a little mechanism where it's attached. Let's see what we got here. More plastic. Alright, I think we're going to probably, oh yeah, this goes in there. Okay. Where about that right here? Let's see how this thing goes in there. That don't look too bad. Just pop this out. I'm gonna have to get a screwdriver. That's too big. Do this without breaking it. There we go. Yet another tool. Okay, that one snaps in there. Okay, that's out. Now let's just match up. Make sure everybody's happy and matches up. Okay. All right. That one there. These are identical, looks like. We got the same, everything's in the same spot. Okay. Snap this back on here. More pliers. Move this old one out of the way so I don't get them mixed up. That would suck. Put the old one back in. I've done that on an occasion. But I normally test everything before I put everything back together, just to make sure it's operating and in this case not making any noise. All right. Snap, pop, pop. Okay, so this goes here, that goes there. Go ahead and pop our connector on. Make sure everybody's lined up there. Yep. Okay. Grab our bolts, get them started before we tighten them up. You always want to start every bolt or nut or whatever you're doing, whatever job you're doing. It doesn't have to be this. If you've got 3 bolts, just start them first by hand. Because sometimes if you'll tighten one up and then go to put the next ones in, they won't go in because something's moved or tightened. You know, from tightening it up, the other ones aren't lined up. So always want to do that. These are all 3 in now. We'll go ahead and tighten them up. Now in this case, I can turn the key on and hit the door lock button from the other side. And it is working. You still hear the back one making funny noises. right? These go to our door panel. And then there's the lock. There's a lock rod in here that connects to that lever with the yellow clip. Slide that in, snap it in place right there, like that. This goes there. Looks good. Now, I'm gonna try something with this door panel. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna put those outer bolts back into the regulator. I just got a feeling that maybe I didn't have to do that, but we'll find out once we go to put it back on, if that was necessary or not. Oh, and I just dropped a bolt in this grass. I won't tighten them up, I'll just I'm just gonna put them in by finger tight. That way if I gotta pull them back out, you know, it's not a big deal. Okay, that's that one. And I found that there is some spots. There's some spots for these to put the bolts in for the window. There's one here and there's one here, so I'm going to do it that way. There are also stickers. Didn't notice them earlier. Linda did pretty good. Alright, so regulators somewhat back together. So we'll go ahead and slide that in. Poke our cables back through here. Now there is a boot, and I don't see it on this one. Okay, there it is. A little rubber gasket here. All right, that slides in. So. This in place enough to just put a couple bolts in, enough to hold it. Okay. And tighten regulator to the panel. Those four right there. That's good. Okay, now we can slide the glass in, but first I want to roll the window more down where the holes line up for the glass. Unfortunately, gotta hook the panel back up, which is okay. It's just a couple connections. Just kind of sucks. You have to keep redoing it, but all part of the job. All right. There's that. Now, we'll come down enough. Well, that's lined up. That's lined up. Boom. Okay. Now, we can slide our glass back in. Make sure you line it up with the gaskets here. Okay. And typically they line up. This one's just off just a hair. There we go. we've got to slide into a groove, which I think is what we got here, because now that one's lined up. This one is off. Come back up. This time we're going to push in just a little bit on this one. There we go. Good, they're both lined up in their respective places. Alright, now, there are 2 bolts. Now, sometimes when you have to stick something in that far, the bolts will like to fall out. So I'll put a piece of tape or plastic or something on the bolt, just like that. And something that'll just kind of hold it in there. And then you can just come right in there without any worries of it falling out. And boom, there's the first one. And there's the second one. Alright, I hope you guys can see that. Dang it. Ouch. Make sure this camera's still recording. Yeah, okay. Alright, got our second bolt. And that one's good. There we go. Now you can test your window, make sure it's good. All the way down. All the way up. I like how these cables pull a little. There, let's try that now. There we go. Okay. Now we can put the rest of these panel bolts in. Hopefully, I don't have to pull this panel back off. That looking. Let's try. Yeah. Now we'll test the window one more time. Good. Try our lock. Make sure our cable's moving here. Yep, in and out, in and out. We're good. Pop our wiring harness back in. Cable one slides. That. This one. Start at the top. With the, this is on most cars. Start at the top with the door panel. Slide it back into its groove there. You should be able to take a peek and see if all the pins are lined up, which they are, and just give it a pop, like so. Everything snaps right back into place. We're good to go. Now it's just a couple more bolts and we're done. All right, that's it for today. I don't have anything else going on today. I do have a starter on a Jeep Patriot, but I'm not going to do that one. It's just a pretty simple job, 2 bolts, boom. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Subscribe and like, and we'll get more videos. Thank you.